The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, this is James from Cave Dweller Music. We have a very special episode for you today. It is a lengthy one, but there are 3 parts to it. 3 round tables with guests that we've had on the show before. We call this the Friends of CDM End of Year Wrap-Up. So the first one you're going to hear is the round table End of Year, featuring label owners. Going to talk about their year, what they put out, what their favorite albums were, and what it was like owning a label in 2022. Second one you're going to hear is John Lambert from Noise Dosage Media to talk about what it's like running a metal podcast in 2022 and what his year was like. And lastly, we have the Artist Roundtable featuring a number of friends of CDM to talk about their year in music, what they put out, and what it's like being an artist in 2022. Hey everyone, this is James from Cave Dweller Music. We have a special lineup today. It is the record label roundtable for 2022. We have obviously my co-host Brendan Smith with me. We also have Justin Vølus of Vargheist Records, Nick of Hessian Firm, Sean Frasier of Wise Blood Records, and Brandon of Morbid and Miserable. Thanks everyone for coming on. It's great to have you on the show.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, so what we're going to do today, for everyone who isn't aware, is we're just going to kind of run through the year of 2022, hear from some label owners how the year was for them, what they liked, and then at the end, they're just going to see what's coming up next in 2023. I guess we'll go in the order that I have people on my screen. So we'll start with Justin Vølus from Vargheist. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about what came out in 2022 on your label?
All kinds of stuff. I put out dissonant death metal, blackened death metal, old school death metal stuff. Put out a couple that were notable to some people, Out of the Mouth of Graves, Harbinger Unceremonious, Psionic Madness, Rotting Dominion. My solo project, Vølus, I put out Thrown to the Abyss. And there was Flesh Configuration, Adapt Sworn Planet. And then there was a couple others like Imperathron, Mors Est Veritas, and they're from Chile. A lot of cool stuff.
I don't know if you saw, but Out of the Mouth of Graves actually made No Clean Singing's Albums of the Year list.
God damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going to send it to you, but yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Nick was on there twice, actually. Nick Turner, he was on there for that, and then also for Acausal. So he's having a good year.
Sweet.
Cool. And then just to see, Sean, who did you put out this year? I know you had some really successful albums come out in 2022.
Yeah, I started the year with some things that were kind of outside the metal realm. I guess I did Milk Toast, which is like sludge, like grungy punk, and Sundown, which was like melodic hardcore. And then sort of got back to the roots of what we're all about, which is just extreme metal across the whole spectrum. So we did Blasted Heath, had a really cool cosmic black metal record we put out. And I did the very first vinyl that we put out, Faster Than the Fucking Devil, was a black thrash split with Wraith, Black Knife, Grave Ripper, and Unholy Night. And that was just that was our first vinyl because we've been super cautious with expenditures in our first 2 years. So that selling out so fast was like a huge confidence boost, going into the Mother of Graves release that was super successful for us. Mother of Graves, if you haven't heard it, that's like melodic death doom, like old Catatonia type stuff. They made the Decibel top 40 list. And
nice.
They've been getting some very good. It was a really good year for us, though.
Awesome. I mean that album, Mother of Graves, I saw praise for that literally on every website I follow, and then also that the Faster Than the Fucking Devil, that one's done extremely well as well. I've seen that everywhere, covered from basically every site I can think of as well.
One of my favorites.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. That's That one, I kind of think I might turn it into like a series of splits where maybe I do one each year. Because those are a lot of fun to put together.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's the perfect album to crash your car to.
Yeah. Hope you got good insurance.
Yeah, add that to your insurance policy, like headbanger insurance. Okay, and then I guess next on my list here is Brandon. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what Morbid and Miserable has been up to this year?
Yeah, so we put out nine releases this year. We started it off with a 3-way split, Bifid Corpse, Surfer James, and Pythian, and that was just a crazy mashup of different genres. It's got like death metal and sludge and power violence all slammed into one. We released the Crimson Tower Eternal Abyss record. That one sold out really fast, so that was amazing. We did Geisterfaust, Black and Sludge. We did Warco, Doom Metal. We did Bugfight, this power violence record. And more recently, we did Lord of Confusion, Evil Mystery, which is really awesome organ-heavy doom metal. We did these local guys, Pythian. They put out this sludge album. We put that on tape. Then we did Demona. We re-released the whole discography, so it's like a big 3-disc collection. And then we just put out our last one of the year, 9-Oct, which is like a Nunslaughter side project.
Awesome. And then I saw you announced, we'll probably cover this in the third segment, but I know you announced Slog, the second Slog album with Nicholas Turner as well.
Yeah. So we announced that, I think, last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. But yeah, that'll be coming out a couple weeks into January. And spoiler alert, it's even better than the first one.
I bet.
That one,
Nick's my boy.
And Jared's on that one too, by the way, Justin.
Oh, well, both my boys are there.
yeah. I just saw that Jared again on drums. So
Yeah, that was actually how I found you, Brandon, Morbid and Miserable. I'm like, oh, Slog, great, I'll go there, and then boom. So I started diving through all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
And then lastly, we've got Nick from Hessian. What did you have come out this year, Nick?
Well, I think we're probably the only label to not have an album by Jared Moran. Considering he's in all the bands. Like, there's no place for any of the drummers, right? So we started off the year with Sinoth, right? Who started as a rock, like a death metal band in like 1990. And then in 2022, ended up as kind of like psych rock, Italian prog, the kind of Giallo movie soundtrack kind of stuff. And then, later on that year, we had Ancient Gate with their EP, Forgotten Dark Age, which is, really kind of, if there is a stereotypical Hessian firm sound, it's going to be that one, the kind of very emotional, kind of, over the top, death black metal, really kind of, gothic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously, Cold Crit, which you did an incredible job of helping us promote. Thanks again, James.
No worries.
Yeah. And
then, that's actually my top albums of the year list, so I'm very happy to work on that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So it's like, how would you classify it? As like melodic French black metal? Like, it's very reminiscent of that like early 2000 style.
I would say so, and it's got like a little bit of like DSBM influence in there as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that, and then we did recently Galicia Precipice, which is kind of a melodic war metal kind of thing. So it's been a pretty decent year overall.
Awesome.
Sweet.
So that kind of wraps up the first segment of what we put out. So let's talk about what we all liked this year. I know 2022 has been stupidly impressive with releases, just like the previous year was. So it's going to be hard for people to narrow it down, as I've learned myself trying to put together my albums of the year list. I've got it down to 17, so it's going to be a top 20. And let's start the same order, I guess. Justin, what have you liked this year?
My album of the year is more They're a French black metal band. The album's called Disgrace. They're on Throat Ruiner. Really good shit. It's like Deathspell Omega. Shit's fucking sick. I love dissonant black metal stuff. Then my second is Entropophagus. They're a brutal death metal band on Agonia Records. The album's called Origin. Sounds like Morbid Angel, basically, just like brutal death metal and Morbid Angel, like the Gateways era. Steve
Nice.
Tucker shit. It's so good, dude. I love that album. And then my third was Artificial Brain. They're self-titled. I love that Gorguts worship shit, basically. And then they step it up a notch with all the guttural stuff. I've always been a big fan of Artificial Brain. I can't remember what label they're on though. That's the only issue there. But yeah, that's mine. I couldn't really get it to a top 5, so I had to just deal with the top 3.
No problem. That's no problem at all. All right, I think it was Sean we had next. Sean, what stood out for you this year?
I want to give a hat tip to some of the albums you guys put out, because that Galicia one I thought was really sick. I checked that out recently. Was really digging that. And that Word of Confusion record that you put out, Brandon. Really great job sharing that with the world. I thought it was really cool that you dipped more into like international releases, and really liked what you put out there. And let's see. I also think I listened to a lot of Doom stuff, like Assumption and Temple of Void. I was listening to that stuff a lot. Kaushmar. But I think one album I haven't really seen people talk about is called Tyranno Satan. And what's the other one? Massacre, Masakre. Those are just two of like the nastiest kind of thrashy, crusty releases that I heard this year. So I was super into that stuff. But I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a really good year. Pretty diverse. There was stuff like Chat Pile and Wailing Storms that aren't really, but I don't know. It's not quite metal to me, but it's aggressive and strange, and I like that stuff. And also that Psionic Madness record was. Oh,
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, really dug that. When I was doing some research for this thing, I was checking out some recent releases, and that blew me away.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm on that record too. Like a lot of my stuff is I'm on it. So that might be the difference here with y'all's labels. Are any of y'all in your own bands on your label?
Yes.
Okay.
Brandon. Yeah.
Brandon, which band are you in?
I was in Wasteland Coven, and we put out our first album. And then my partner as well, his name is Jason, and we've done a bunch of stuff that he was in. He drummed in Morgatory and Pissing Contest, and we're doing more Pissing Contest in the future and a couple other things coming up.
Hell yeah! I don't want to hijack what Sean was saying though.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to,
I appreciate that though. I appreciate that. I really do.
I thought, it's always, I was thinking about that too. Like, running a label when you're putting out your own music is such a good power move. Because if you're going to do all that stuff anyway, you might as well build the structure for it. So I thought that was a really smart move.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Basically, I'll keep this short, but basically, it all stemmed, the creation of Vargheist was, my shit's too weird. I'm just gonna put out my own shit, and that was pretty much how it started in 2018. So, it kind of just went from there, and then I started signing other people, and so, yeah, pretty cool.
I just want to throw in another death metal record I really like, Cruise. CRZ. Just really nasty chainsaw stuff. So.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you to send me links to these ones, Sean, because I haven't heard any of those three you mentioned.
Yeah. I will gladly send a link to some of that stuff to you.
Excellent. And then after that, we had Brandon. What did you love this year?
So there's been a lot of stuff. I really need to formalize like an end of the year list, but off the top of my head, I really liked the new Candlemass because I love everything that Candlemass does.
Hell yeah.
I don't think so. The things that they picked out as singles, I don't think worked as singles at all. But when you listen to the whole album, it comes together well. I loved the new Savage Master record. That was out on Shadow Kingdom. Mother of Graves is probably towards the top of the list for me. I know everybody's been shouting it out, and it's for great reasons because that's a fantastic record. And then I wanted to get some opinions here because I really liked the new Dark Throne record, but it seems like everybody's shitting on it, and I can't figure out why. Like it's not their best record ever, but it's a good record. I like it.
I haven't listened to it.
I liked it because I kind of felt like they went in like a full Doom direction, but they still kept it like first wave at the same time. So it was kind of like a first wave Doom fusion, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I liked the previous one more because that was straight up like Celtic Frost worship, but I like this one too.
Yes, I agree with everything you said there. The last one was better, but this one was fun. It was interesting new takes on stuff. I don't get where the hate is coming from. It confuses me.
Same here.
Everybody wants like their favorite band to like have like every album be their like the best, you know, like, and if it doesn't fit like their sound and expectations, it's expectations. You gotta not have expectations.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was gonna say it's because people are fucking nerds. You know, they go, "Oh well, I like the old stuff." And it's like, shut the fuck up.
But I mean, like, it's Dark Throne. What do you expect? They never stop changing their sound. Like that project is literally just them jamming to whatever they feel like playing. That's why they don't do live shows. It's just, you know what I mean? Like you should expect it from Finraz at this point that's how it's going to be.
Yep. I think
the other really good one this year. Did you guys hear the new Lady Luna and the Devil?
No, I didn't even know they had a new one come out.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago, and
okay.
I would say it tops the one that came before it too, where they really do well with their whole like the concepts that they want to put in their album. Sometimes when people put out concept albums, it gets really muddy or they get too far up their own asses and they think they're being artsy when they're not. But I think they really come together and pull off some cool things.
Okay, sweet. You have to check that out. Anything else, or is that the main highlights for you?
I mean, I could ramble for a long time about good stuff. I thought the White Spade album. Did you guys hear that one?
Is that the Motorhead Worship one?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent.
It was a lot of fun. I think maybe it gets a little too much credit, but it's definitely a lot of fun to listen to. I've played that a few times.
Well, you put out an album that was like some excellent Motorhead worship. That was one of the first ones I heard from you guys. It was, I'm trying to think of the name.
Poison Speed.
Poison Speed. Yes, I love that album.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff, and I kind of want them to write more stuff faster because I've listened to that album so many times now. It's like, this is great. Please do more.
Tell them to hire Jared.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he'll be cranking it out then.
3 albums a month.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick? What stood out to you this year?
Well, I think all the gentlemen here with us today have done some great stuff. The Psionic Madness, I really enjoyed. It was like similar to the first one, but it felt a lot less grindy. You know what I mean? Like the songs were a lot more complete, like stretched out. You know what I mean? Like they weren't as like the first album, everything felt like so quick and in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It actually stems from that Terminus podcast. We heard them. They said, "Well, it just sounded like it was over before it even started." And Nick was like, "Challenge accepted." So he started writing 7-minute songs.
Yeah, I remember that one. I think the 9-act EP was really good as well this year. Mother of Graves as well. I really enjoyed it. Remind me of Catatonia, but also like the whole what's that name of the trio? Peaceville 3. That's it.
Sure,
yeah. You could hear the Paradise Lost, and you could hear what's the Paradise? My Dying Bride. That's it as well. Yeah, you could hear all three of those in that, and then obviously I really enjoyed Anal Stab Wound, which I'm not sure if you've heard. It's like this 12-year-old kid who plays guitar, all the instruments, and he plays them as good as like the guys in Necrophagist or in Defeated Sanity.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was 12. What the fuck?
No, he's 17. He's 17 now, but he started recording that last album when he was 16, which is still absolutely insane.
Damn.
He's going to replace everyone.
I remember y'all talking about him. I
Cool
remember y'all saying he was
Watch
a
out,
BDM prodigy or some shit.
Yeah, man, he's a prodigy, 100%. Like, there's a YouTube video that shows him playing every instrument on one of the songs, and like just like a layered thing showing different screens, and dude's a machine.
Sweet.
Yeah, Bloodhouse Nord released an album this year, which was not bad at all. Not sure if you guys heard it because there was so much going on.
They actually did 2, I think, didn't they?
Did 2 albums this year?
I thought there was a subtle drop at the as an ambient soundtrack to a Cthulhu type thing. Let me check.
Oh yeah, shit, I remember that. Yeah, that was like outside of the metal canon. Yeah,
they didn't even announce it; it just kind of appeared. Yeah, Lovecraftian Echoes. It came out September 30th, like very recently. It just kind of slid under the radar. But worth a listen, like 100%. It's one of my favorite things they've done in a while. It's like you can put it on while you work, and it's just like unsettling soundtrack music.
Yeah, there's that. See, man, there was so much coming out this year. Like, dude, it's insane. Like, so many big bands have released albums this year, and it's impossible to track them all, dude. Like, I almost forgot that Blind Guardian had a release this year.
Yes, it was good too.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it. It was an EP, right? If I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
and he can still hold the notes. That's like the crazy thing. He's still got the voice.
Yeah, man. He sounds like he did on the first album. Italians of Fear.
Right, exactly. He hasn't lost it at all.
I don't know, man. It's kind of hard nowadays to remember everything. What was the name of that band you showed me? It was really cool. It was like some kind of hard rock, sludge, black metal mix.
Oh, Manta.
Manta, yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's on my list.
Cool. Super good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that what's that song? Hang 'em Low, man. Like, bro,
yes.
I was like thinking, if there's one like kind of metal single, by like a catchy song that you could just listen to all day, like that's the one for me this year. That one.
Yeah, I had that on repeat for a very long time.
That's funny. You said hang 'em low. Well, I'm thinking of Hypocrisy. Hang 'em high.
Oh yeah. Yeah, anyone here in this call who has not listened to Manta's album Pain Is Forever and This Is the End, like give it a spin. It is worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And I just wanted to add, obviously my album of the year is going to be none other than Ghost's new album. Heaviest thing I've heard this year.
Why not Behemoth while you're at it?
I like, just not to like derail, but I did think that it was better than their previous album.
I'm just shitting. I never even listened to it.
You're not missing like a huge amount. It got like a little. It kind of got boring, but it was definitely better than the previous one.
Yeah, better, but Nergal doesn't need that much more screen time.
No, no, I agree. And I think that's everyone for there. Brandon and I are going to have our own sort of thing where we flush through ours in a separate segment on the podcast. We won't go into too much, but Brennan, if you want to do like your maybe top album, I'll mention mine was Ashen Spire, Hostile Architecture.
Ooh,
Awesome
I've
record,
been listening to a lot of Mass Warship Portal Tomb.
That would be your top for the year, you think? Out of all the,
It might. I don't know. That's. I don't think that's going to be it. I don't know. It's tough. Iron Tomb, Vile Retribution.
Yes.
Immense. But then Et Memori.
Yeah.
Tamashi Noyama. I've been crushing that album and I love it. I don't know. It's tough.
All right. Well, last segment we have to cover quickly is what do we have coming up in 2023? So just on the Cave Dweller side of things to start it off, we have our grindcore / power violence charity sampler coming out in February. That will be out on Bandcamp Friday and is called Violence Against Violence, and all proceeds will be going to Doctors Without Borders.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we might actually have a couple of people from a few of the labels involved. Justin, I know you've got some stuff on there.
Can't remember what it is.
I think you went. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, but we definitely have a song or two of yours on there. And then I think Sean, we're going to have Flurm involved. They were pretty excited about that.
Oh hell yeah!
And actually, Brandon, I wanted to touch base with you and see if any of your guys wanted to jump on that because I haven't actually talked to you about it. I know that we could get someone like maybe Bifford Corpse or Surfer James or Pissing Contest involved.
Yeah, I'm sure all of them would love to get on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bug Fight as well, of course. Almost missed them, but they'd be great to have too. And Bonefold. Yeah, you've got a ton of good grind and power violence stuff. So I'll chat to you after this about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And then I guess the next person is Justin. What have you got coming up in 2023?
I've got this Confined album coming out in January. Got another Maggot Crown album coming. And then I've got another album that's kind of under wraps. Don't want to give away the secret yet. So, yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Sean?
In February I got Veilcast, which is like really super heavy, like cosmic doom, sludge type stuff. They actually practice in the basement of the Mother Gray's vocalist, so their sounds have been seeping into each other early this year. So that's out in February. In March I'm releasing a new project called Ardent Nova, which is kind of like melodic Viking thrash type stuff. And that's from the Empty Throne guitarist.
Nice.
So like really ornate riffs, like really, really catchy and fast and contagious. Apart from that, we got a lot of artists coming back, which is always like a good feeling when people want to work with you again. So I got a VHS, the horror death metal band. They're coming back.
Nice.
Creek's Grave, the Texan black metal project. They're one of my favorite black metal bands. So it's really cool that they want to work with me again. And Vexing Hex, which is kind of the band that I wish Ghost became. Like with like super catchy occult stuff. But those guys throw a lot of really wild influences in there. So yeah, it's going to be a really eclectic, which is kind of like the Wise Blood way, it's just like all over the map, just stuff that I like. But I think it's going to be a good year. We're going to do a lot more vinyl. So this would be kind of a make or break year. Like hopefully things, are received well and we can just keep funding this for the years ahead.
I think with the momentum you've built in 2022, you'll have no issues in 23 with performance.
Yeah, I feel really good. I feel good going into it. But it's I think everybody on this call knows like the fickle nature of running a label, and you kind of have to be prepared that you won't get your money back. You just got to be like, well, you love the music you put out, and that's satisfying. But there's no guarantee that anybody else is gonna want it. So there's been labels that I think albums that I bet we all released were like, we don't regret it because it's sick, but we're like, that was there's $2,000 gone for that one. But,
God almighty, Jesus. I know.
But
sometimes it's like I'm putting this album out just for me. I don't know if anybody else is gonna care, but I really want this album. So
Yeah, for real. Jesus. I know exactly what y'all mean. I've lost my ass on some shit before, that's for sure.
And it's like, I don't think it made me bitter or anything. If anything, it made me just appreciate the people who do kind of support everything I put out, that are kind of like adventurous listeners, and so. But I think all of us kind of do it for a deeper connection to music anyway, and we're not trying to become fucking millionaires putting out metal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta take the bad with the good, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brendan, I believe that you are next. What have you got coming up?
yeah, so we already mentioned there's new Slog coming in January. That's January 13th, so a couple weeks away. And having listened to it, it is awesome. So we're starting out the year strong. We've got like a full year booked. We got a couple open slots, but I never like to announce the stuff like too far ahead in advance. But I guess to kind of tease it a little bit, our 2022 was like super metal, and we're supposed to be like a metal and punk label, so we're definitely getting more punk in for 2023. So we've got some good punk albums coming out in addition to our metal. After Slog, I'll drop this one. We're doing a band out of Detroit called the Cult of Space Skull. And they rarely get out of Detroit, and I think they deserve way more recognition than they get. It's like a horror punk guar, and they have very elaborate, incredible stage shows, and so we're putting out an album from them, and I hope everybody understands the majesty of what they do. So we'll see.
Nice.
Awesome. And lastly, Nick, what have you got coming out on Haitian Firm in 23?
Well, it's always complicated to find new bands, considering that either Nick Turner or Jared are in all of them.
God damn.
I'm joking. I hope they don't like hear this and think I'm making fun of them. It's just for the lulz. Yeah. No, so seriously, like this year I've started to get into a lot of brutal death metal, which wasn't something I was particularly into. So I managed to find like a band, Apocatastasis, which mixes like brutal death metal and melodic black metal, kind of like Dissection meets Disgorge US kind of thing.
Oh shit.
So really into that, and then after that, we've got some like epic heavy metal / death metal hybrid. More kind of romantic gothic-y black death stuff, and then other stuff. I think all you guys know that like sometimes you think you have a schedule in mind and you think it's going to go a certain way, and then you realize that by the end of the year it did not turn out at all like what you had planned.
Yep.
Oh my god! Yep. I gotta say something about this. This is why I don't fucking plan more than 3 months ahead. Because I never know.
Yeah. A crazy story that happened is that I had a contract with these poor Russian guys, right? Who had everything and who had like the mixing done. But then the poor guys, like they couldn't finish the mixing because they're conscripted. So I haven't had any news from them in about a month, and the whole situation going on in that part of the world. It's I'll never know if I'll hear from them again.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I just had to send some copies to the band Unholy Night in Russia, and it's fucking impossible to get stuff directly from the USA to Russia. So I'm like getting all my like German friends. I'm like, can you please, if I send this to you, can you send it over there? And just begging people to like handle that shipping for me, because it's impossible. I feel so bad for those bands there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, I did a trade. I did a trade with Lord of the Sick like maybe 2 weeks before the invasion happened.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Damn.
fucking Lord of the Sick, you know, the brutal death metal label.
Yeah.
They're out of Russia, so it's just like shit.
I mean, did you guys see what happened to Satanath Records, who are always like one of the kind of
Oh yeah.
bigger indie labels, dude? Like he lost so much stock that he'll never get back, man. Like the guy's lost like in the $20,000-$30,000 worth of material.
Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did see something about like he had to move and like away from his headquarters or his like stock warehouse or whatever, and just kind of leave it behind. That's horrible.
God damn. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of wraps up the 3 segments of this. Is just before we kind of finish up, is there anything anyone wants to mention, or like, it's not label related, anything they want to give a shout out to or anything like that?
I know. Which Elder Scrolls game is the best?
The Elder Scrolls Online.
All right, I got it. I'm taking this shit over, motherfucker. All right, we're gonna go around the table like we just did, and they're gonna say which Elder Scrolls game is their favorite.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Morrowind, because you can really do whatever the fuck you want. You can fly around. Fuck a dragon. I don't need that. I got levitation spell, teleport, motherfucker. All right, next person.
Nick, you can go next.
Oh, well, I'm a purist, so I'm gonna say Daggerfall.
Oh wow!
No, I'm joking. Not in a million years. Dude, like imagine the kids like 14, 15-year-old. It's like, bro, where's your piece of paper, dude? You need to draw your fucking map. These are random generated dungeons. Like, what are you doing?
Oh no.
Now, my favorite Elder Scrolls has to be the one where Fargoth does the power walk because he stole that ring. Morrowind.
Yeah.
The first quest, that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what race he was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking hell. I remember doing that, and then I got his ring, and then I flew, and then died instantly. The man who like literally falls out of the sky. Like, you see, that's the thing, people forget, like just how inventive like some of those quests were, and just insane. Yes. Dude, like, do you remember like one of my favorite quests in that is there's this one where you've got like this Khajiit slave, and you have to bring him from one area to another, and then you hand him off to the guys, you finish the quest, and they fucking cut him open just to get the skooma out. Give me my drugs, bitch.
For me, I think it would have to be like just by hours played, probably Oblivion. I sunk a lot of time into that, and then I really love Skyrim. I know like everyone likes Skyrim, but I thought it was a great game. And then obviously I have to give props to Morrowind, but yeah, hours played is Oblivion for me.
You know what? They've neutered the fucking legions in that game. I don't want to hear it. It made it look like a knockoff of the Romans.
It did feel a lot like that.
It looked awesome in Oblivion. Their armor was so sick in Oblivion, and then it went to like some shitty ass Roman shit. What's yours, Brandon?
I liked Oblivion. I played that the longest. Like I had probably 300 something hours into it, and had like this little tower where I had like this, like I could just get away from everything, and I put I had like all these like displays, like cool stuff. I had like portals to go places. It was sweet. And then I don't remember what exactly I was doing. And then I got nailed by a vampire, and I became a vampire, and like I couldn't keep playing the game, and I kind of like broke off of it, and like I was like I got mad at it and stopped.
Yep, same here. Same thing happened to me. It was a glitch whenever I tried to cure vampirism. It would not let me cure it, and then all my like auto saves went back too far, and I could not undo it.
You sound, he sounded like he said. He sounded like he got raped by a vampire. I got nailed by a vampire.
Yeah, it was bad.
But the best thing about Oblivion is making a really fucked up face, and then when Martin Tempton comes up to me, I remember, let me see that face. You are the one from my dreams.
God, the faces were bad in that game. God,
They were.
damn.
Absolutely.
The dialogue, bro, it's what the fuck was going on?
Brandon, what about you? What about you, Brandon? What was your favorite?
Yeah, probably Oblivion. I always assume whatever the first one you played always ends up being your favorite, and Oblivion was the first one I played.
Same.
I used to have my record player right next to my computer, and what I would do is I would put on a 70s soul album, usually something by the OJs, and I would go through an Oblivion gate, and I would just love the juxtaposition of soul music and all the hellish imagery. And so that was a lot of fun for me. I would just be bumping soul music and slaying every Daedra I could find.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Sean?
I wish I understood all the jokes for the last 5 minutes. I've never played it, and I basically, the only video game I play is a fucking free download of Smite on Xbox, and that's pretty much all I play at like 2 a.m. by myself. So although with all the vampire rape stuff, I think teenage goth Sean would be very into this, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Oh, I love it when he goes, "There's a murder."
Yeah, I've been playing a game. It's like a platformer kind of fighting game thing. It's called Dead Cells. It's like I think they call them like Transylvanian dungeon kind of dealies, like a Metroid. I think it's like a Metroid, like
Dungeon crawler.
Yeah, dungeon crawler. Yeah. So like when you die, everything gets erased and you start back over, but like the levels are always differently shaped, like infinitely different every single time you play.
A roguelike.
Like yeah, exactly.
Roguelike,
yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's sweet. It's a ton of fun, and you can just, if you want to like fall asleep, pass out, and don't move, it'll pause the game for you, and then or just turn it off and pick it up later. It's right where you left off, and then unless you die, and then it starts all back over. But every time you play the game, it gives you something cool to advance like further along. So like you're not always like just stuck in one spot. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Just before we wrap up, do you guys remember those cartoons that people made of like Oblivion and Skyrim, kind of showing how ridiculous some of the concepts are? Like you can just stand and wait for like 24 hours. It's like a family looking out their windows. Like, is he still out there? It's like, yeah, he's just staring at the door. He hasn't blinked in 24 hours. And then like how you can just eat a ton of food to heal. It's like the guy just like consuming 15 wheels of cheese, like standing in a courtyard.
Yeah.
You're fighting a big dragon, so you eat all the cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, we better wrap up for time's sake, because we've got a couple of these segments that are going to be in this special. But thank you so much to everyone that came on. It was great hearing about the labels and seeing how well all of you have done this year and everything that you've put out. And we really look forward to 2023 and seeing what comes next for each of you.
Sweet.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah. What?
Our next guest is John from Noise Dosage Media, who's here to talk to about his year, his podcast, his documentary, and the music that he enjoyed in 2022. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Always good to have you on. I know you've had a pretty big year. Your first documentary came out. You've had some crazy guests on the podcast, and you've met some pretty cool people in the underground industry.
Oh, yeah. It's been a very odd year because I mean, I really since I've started this thing, I had really no expectations, and the documentary is really cool, man. When I released it, a lot of people like enjoyed it, and beyond that, it was just cool that everybody said that they were totally down to do it. So yeah, the podcast is cool too. I can get a hold of literally anybody in the world in seconds.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, we feel the same way. We love doing the podcast. It's just awesome getting to know and chat to people that you've respected for a long time.
Yeah, it's a good connection.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other platform that really can offer that. I mean, I couldn't really say anything better about having a podcast. Like, I think I started mine like 2 or 3 years ago, and like the simple conversations, but so like meaningful. I don't know. I've never really had a conversation uh with somebody like so new where it's so like down to earth right away. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's like very focused and like forward moving, like positive.
Exactly.
You know. But I think that's the great thing about podcasts. Like there's really no expectations other than just like talk about what's on your mind and hopefully get get some type of wisdom from it or knowledge or whatever.
Exactly. And then people listening is just an added bonus.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny, man. I was in Florida like 2 weeks ago, and this like kid that like just started a band said to me, he's like, "Yeah, man, like I listen to your podcast." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I like do that." But it was cool, man, because it's it's something so simple, but like if you apply yourself and try to have like good conversations, um, people will want to listen and I don't know, laugh at your really bad jokes.
Or tolerate your shitty takes on things.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, out of the guests that you've had on this year, do you have any favorites that have kind of stood out to you?
So I have three. Cheney Crab from Entheos,
Oh,
ALN
yeah.
from Mismore,
Nice.
and David Davidson from Revocation.
Okay. What made those special?
Okay, so Cheney is one of those people where she's so like I don't
She's
know,
a
she
beast
kind
in
of
vocals, man.
oh yeah, like beyond like the skill and talent of her vocals, like she is very like into the underground scene. Like she's very like um in touch with it. Like she has her own podcast. Yeah, like she's just kind of where I'm at too. Like I just kind of like talking to people about music and stuff I love, and she's on that same headspace, just likes blabbing about music. So yeah, she was really like enjoyable and yeah, it's a very natural conversation. ALN from Mismore was a great one too because he Mismore has a lot of mystique. Like that band in specific, like their music is kind of super like deep and what they write about is very
Esoteric.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like it was really cool to like pick his brain because he looks at music in a totally different way. Like he's writing music in the grievance of believing and stopping the belief of God. Like his music is so deep that I don't know, like the other bands, they can like talk about like horror and stuff like that, but this man was like getting through like trauma and like like this mental obstacle.
Right.
So it was very cool to talk to Mismore about that. And then David Davidson is just a great dude in general. He's just very funny. He's been in the scene for a very long time, and I just really enjoy his jazz way of thinking when it comes to music. But those are my three. They were all very good. And yeah, I would do it again. I should do it. Like do a recap.
Awesome. What about with the documentary? Is anyone from the documentary kind of stand out to you as enjoyable to talk to?
Yeah, I mean, Travis from Cattle Decapitation is probably my number one. Everybody in the Between Exaltation and Aggression documentary was, great. They were awesome to hang out with and film with. But Travis from Cattle Decap is like I don't know, like an idol to me, man. Like he was, well, that band in specific really got me into underground music. And there was like a lot of problems going on the day of the film, the film day. Like the PA just gave out at the show, so like they had a really late sound check and just everything was going wrong. But Travis like made sure by the end of the night, like we filmed for the documentary that I thought of putting together one day, and I just thought it was very like genuine. He like walked up to me at the bar and he's like, "You're the documentary guy, right?" And mind you, I'm like 23. I look young, like I'm not like 40, and it was very cool for him to have no judgment. He's like, "You're making a documentary. I want to be a part of it. Let's fucking do it." And
That's
like
awesome.
we went on his bus and we had a great time. And yeah, it was very special. One of the best times of my life for music, without a doubt.
That's awesome. So it's not that whole adage of never meet your heroes. This one actually worked out for you.
It did, yeah. Yeah, 100%. And it was very like, it was just like one-on-one. Like we were just chilling, like we were buddies, like for 20 years in high school. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was albums of the year. We're obviously coming to the end of 2022, and it's been a massive year for music, as we all know. Was there anything that kind of stood out from the crowd or really stuck in your mind from the year that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, so I have three. Molders Engrossed in Decay, Tribal Gaze's Godless Voyage, and Undeath's It's Time to Rise from the Grave, and their newest live record that they just put out. Those three records, man, I don't know how to explain it other than like if you're into death metal and you want to get like a new taste or like an update on what's going on in the scene, like those three bands are like, they lit the torch for what's going on right now. Like they have like the riffs, they have the hooks, and yeah, it just doesn't get better than those three records.
So I actually was I realized I had to tell you this. The last time we spoke, you told me to check out Phobophilia.
Yes.
And I took your advice and I actually went and saw them. They played with Undeath, 200 Stab Wounds, Vomit Forth, and Enforced. So it's like absolutely stupidly stacked lineup. And Phobophilia for me stole the show. I completely get it now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yep.
And they were the opening band. And I was like, damn, it can't get better than this. And for me, it didn't. But Enforced, for different reasons, other bands stood out, obviously. Enforced is like, they bring the energy and the headbanging because it's the thrashy undertones from the crossover. And then 200 Stab Wounds is just monstrous.
Maniacal maniacs.
Just constant riffs, super groovy. It was a great show overall, honestly. Just killer lineup. But yes, thank you for putting me on to Phobophilia.
You're welcome, man. And to top it off, like, I got to see that show you're talking about twice in New York City. And oh man, the dudes in Phobophilia are so nice. Like they
remembered you, by the way. Because I was talking to them after the show, and I mentioned that you put me onto them, and they actually said John's a great dude, man. So there you go.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Who said that?
what's his name? I think he's the
Vincent,
guitarist,
the drummer.
No, you're right. I think it was the drummer. Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because I was like, I was in New York just hanging, and it was a great time. But yes, I'm so happy that you got turned on to Phobophilic.
Yes, Brendan, you got to check those guys out if you haven't yet.
I have.
Very good,
What do you
right?
think?
Yes, I love it.
I
They
know.
were,
What did
uh,
you think of that show in general? Like, I thought it was stacked, man. If I can go see
It was.
a show twice in a row, it's got to be good.
Exactly. It was killer. I would definitely have attended that again. There's a couple of stacked ones coming up. I bought tickets to 3 shows the other day. For
3 shows.
Yeah, for February and March. Like stupidly cheap, great lineups. What did I get? I got Candlemass, Karak Angren with Rotting Christ,
Oh, is that a
Gaera.
tour?
Yes, it's a stacked tour. It's who is it? Let me just see. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you who it is.
Is that a U.S. tour? Like a full
Yes,
US?
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
What?
they're coming to Boston, I think, and New York.
Oh man.
It's like all of the up and coming bands as well, like supporting them. So it's like there it is. We go down a couple of pages. So it's Rotting Christ, Karak Angren, Uada, and Gaera.
Oh. Gare, I don't even know how to say it. Get that Garia? Something?
You really like them, right, Brendan? You love the new album?
Yeah, they're like a kind of like the new wave of like black metal.
Yes. Yeah, they're
And then
very good.
the other one I got was also stacked, which it's here somewhere. Let me just find the lineup. Morbid Angel, Revocation, Skeletal Remains, and Crypta.
Oh yeah, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee.
It's gonna be good.
That tour's gonna be stacked.
Yep.
Like,
It's the Morbid Angel's 40-year anniversary tour.
yep. Yeah, I know exactly that tour. Because the second I saw that, man, I'm like, I'm sold. Take my money. Take it all.
Exactly. I felt the same way because Morbid Angel is one of the only big name early OSDM bands that I still haven't seen. So gotta
You
check
haven't
them out.
seen them?
No, every time I was going to see them, either they canceled or I got busy. So
Damn.
still haven't seen them.
Damn, you haven't seen them. It's okay. I haven't seen Iron Maiden. Have you seen Iron Maiden?
I have, yeah.
Damn it.
Just once though.
Damn. Brandon, you see Iron Maiden?
I have not.
Okay, cool. I don't feel it's left out. Like Iron
Good,
Maiden is
good.
like the band. Brandon, we're gonna go see Iron Maiden together. I'm gonna buy you a ticket.
All right.
Are you going to be at? Okay, so this is another thing we have to talk about because we're all obviously fans of it. But MDF officially confirmed 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already. Yeah, we're already there.
We're going to
Yeah.
go. We'll be there.
You're gonna be there.
100%.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
We can
you
meet up this time.
You can, without a doubt, expect me to be there, and we will be sharing a beer. I don't know if you guys drink beer, but
We do.
I definitely drink beer.
what'd you say?
I love beer.
I thought like you said, nah, I'm not into beer.
He works at a brewery.
I work at a brewery. Yep.
Oh, well, it doesn't get better than that.
Nope. It really doesn't.
MDF. Okay, do you guys have your tickets?
Not
No,
yet.
they
haven't
only go on
announced it.
sale. I think June they go on sale.
Have
Yeah.
you guys attended a Maryland Death Fest before?
Yeah, we had the last one. When we watched your documentary, we were scanning the crowd the whole time trying to find ourselves, but we couldn't see
Yeah.
ourselves.
Damn it. Damn.
I mean,
it.
I gotta double check that because like halfway towards that video, I was like kind of just listening and not watching,
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
I'm
it's
sure that
long.
there was like there's very possible. I mean, it's very possible you could have scanned us.
I know for
We're
a
at least,
fact I
like-
was dodging beers in the pit, so like, yeah, you might be in there, but it might be shaky.
Well, we were in the VIP section for most of it, so that's might be why we didn't end up on camera as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna film the next Maryland Death Fest. I think I'm just gonna stick with the one that I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you do
I'm gonna
VIP?
enjoy the next time. What do you say?
Did you do the VIP section or just the standard ticket?
No, just standard ticket.
Well, for like if you're doing the documentary type thing, the VIP is sick because you get to hang out with all the bands backstage, so you could actually interview like everyone.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can actually like say hi and whatnot. Like,
We met a bunch
unbeknownst
of
to
cool
us,
people.
yeah, we were hanging out with Enforced and Imprecation before they went on, and we didn't realize it until like we were like, oh, where'd those guys go? Whatever. And then all of a sudden they're on stage, and we're like, oh shit, that was Imprecation. Fucking cool, you know.
Yeah, that's rad.
That's cool.
I
At the
will
pro-
give you a tip. I don't know if you guys took advantage of the scooters.
We did not.
Okay, listen, man. If you're gonna take any advice from this conversation, okay, when you go to Maryland Death Fest, there's the scooters. They're just scattered all around Maryland. You know how you got to go from the parking lot to the main stage,
Yes.
sound stage.
Yes.
Okay, well you remember how the walk is like 20 minutes?
Yes.
Take a damn scooter, man. It costs $2. Basically those scooters you could drop them off and pick them up wherever. Like they're just kind of scattered all around.
So I used to actually use those to get home from work every day in Australia.
Yeah, man. But
They're great.
for a festival, it saves your knees, man.
Right. Good idea.
Oh man.
We'll do that next time.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, we tagged a couple scooters with our stickers.
We did.
That's awesome. I know I wiped out on one of them. I had my camera bag and everything. I fucking face planted, but it was all worth it.
Did you get it? Like, was it recording?
Oh no. It was just in my backpack. Like my camera's in the backpack. But yeah, I wiped.
Well, I guess that's probably better because then you didn't damage it as much as if it was outside of your backpack.
Luckily, I didn't break anything, but
yeah, that would not be good.
That's funny, dude. I totally forgot about that. But what else festivals are you guys going to?
We are probably going to go to one next year. What was it called, Brendan? Is it Monolith on the Mesa?
Yes.
What is that?
It's in New Mexico.
A desert rock kind of doom metal festival.
Very well priced.
Maybe more doom, not doom metal, but yeah.
It's super affordable, which is sick. And we kind of know one of the promoters, so we're definitely going to go and meet up with him and hang out. And we actually know quite a few people in that area that we've never met up with in real life. So
yeah,
it was 50% going for the music and then 50% going just to hang with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a big doom fest.
Yeah,
I hate God headlined last year, which is cool. I've seen them; they're great, but I'd see them again any day.
Yeah, I love them. Mike is a freaking blast to talk to.
He was in your documentary, right?
Yeah. If there's anybody you should have on your podcast next, it's Mike.
Has he been on yours?
Huh?
Has he been on your podcast?
No, just the documentary.
Oh, okay.
But if you hear him talk in other podcasts, man, he's a great dude. He's just he's one of those people that you could talk to about anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
nice.
Right.
But okay, so the Monolith on the Mesa. What else are you guys going to?
I might try and go to Furnace Fest with my buddy this year.
Furnace.
I haven't
heard these two.
It's a bunch of hardcore bands and like 90s and 2000s, like hardcore, post-hardcore, like that kind of stuff.
Furnace Fest.
I think it's in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama, it says.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about this festival, but I'm forgetting the name. Metal Festival. What is it called? Oh man.
I think I don't know. One of the next shows I'm going to go to is going to be the Webster Theater. I'm not like a super big fan of them, but Undeath is playing. That's why I want to go. They're not the headliners, but Thy Ardor's Murder.
Yes, they're awesome.
Yeah, I've seen them live.
I have not, and I just like recently I was like, oh, Undeath is playing that show, and I'm like, Thy Ardor's Murder. I should know that. They've been around a while, but I never really gave them that much of a chance. So I started listening to I guess their album Hate, which is on their 10-year anniversary. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But I've seen that band Kabulai Khan TX.
Oh yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. I saw them live. They opened for Casey's Train and Dying Wish, and they were there, and it was freaking an immense show. You guys did a good job, and then they just released an EP or an album. I think it's like the lowest form of human or something like that, and it's got Scott Vogel from Terror doing a guest spot on one of the tracks. It's just like, I don't know. It's good. It's good old fashioned.
Yes, that is a good album. I did listen to that one. You sent me that.
Yeah. Shit's fucking good. But yeah, Undeath is playing that show. So Die Artist Murder is probably going to play through Hate. And then, and then there's two other bands I'm not familiar with. I Am. And
yeah, I love them. I love them.
Yeah, so I'm sure that if you're talking them up, I'm sure it's going to be a good show. But I think that's my next like solidly planned show.
Oh, Brendan, if you're going to listen to Die Artist Murder, check out their album Dear Desolation.
Oh,
okay,
dude,
it's the best in my opinion by far. But that's my opinion.
Okay, so my suggestion to you guys is to look into a festival called Fire in the Mountains. Have you heard of it?
The Grateful Dead festival?
I think we talked about this last time you were on the podcast. It's the one that's like in Wyoming or something, right?
Yeah, dude. I have been cheesing on this like festival, man. Like, I don't know what to say about it other than it just looks like an experience, man. You're like dropped off in the middle of nowhere to experience like a freaking metal festival. Like
Fire in the Mountain?
Fire in the Mountains.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, man. And like when I was at Psycho Las Vegas, everybody I talked to that went to this festival, they were like, man, you just have to go to Fire in the Mountains.
It's in May. Or it happened in May this year.
Yeah, but
coming next year.
There's just a lot of good stuff going on when it comes to festivals and new music. It's
definitely
like,
hell yeah.
It's crazy, man. There's just a lot of things.
It's good if they do it right. You know, Maryland did a lot of things right. Like I felt like there was like all that water, they had a lot of water for everybody. There was I felt like the trash didn't pile up too crazy or anything like that.
It wasn't bad at all.
Like those like things that you'd expect, like that you're like, oh man, I can't even, whatever. I didn't really feel like there was any of that really going on. Like I felt like they were on top of their shit.
Yeah, man. And I think it makes a difference that like the promoters are a fan of the music themselves, like
right.
If I was a festival promoter, I would want, 50 or 100 porta potties. Like I wouldn't want to stick everybody in 10 porta potties. Like, come on,
right?
Like,
because at least 10 of them are gonna get fucking shit splattered.
Oh man, there's some stuff that we saw.
That we were like, I'm so glad that we have access to the VIP bathrooms.
Yeah, the VIP had its own toilets and its own bar, which was like worth it alone. But before we discovered that was there, we were
mortified.
I saw some stuff in those porta potties. Can never unsee.
What the hell? Well, was it like the first day?
Yes.
Okay,
it might have been a fetus. Man. It was bad.
It's like
that is.
How do you miss a toilet that badly?
You got to be kidding me. Somebody did that?
It was on the walls, dude.
It was the walls. It was it was just unruly.
Was everywhere. Like he painted the porta potty. It wasn't even on the seat. He literally missed the seat entirely. It wasn't even on the seat. It was on the walls.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny, man.
It is pretty funny.
I had a dude snort cocaine in front of me, but instead of snorting it, he blew it all at my face. Like I was walking through the crowd and I just got fucking cocaine just blown at me.
Bonus.
That was really funny. That was probably the funniest thing that happened to me. So the porta potty was your pinnacle moment the thing that you remember. And
It will haunt me. But I've seen worse. I'll say that. But that's a different story for a different podcast episode. This isn't going to be a toilet episode. Anyway, I just noticed we have kind of gone over time. So just quickly before we wrap up, do you have anything coming in 2023 that you're excited about? Like from your podcast or documentary perspective?
Yeah. I have Between Exaltation 2 almost done. Well, it's just in the works. I'm gonna get it out there whenever I have time to edit it. And something cool that I haven't really shared on social media or anything is I'm gonna start focusing on individual documentaries about individual bands.
Nice.
I don't really want to spoil like who it's gonna be, other than like I'm just gonna be starting to do documentaries, like full-fledged movies on specific bands. That's my next step. So
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the podcast, I'm gonna keep cooking on that, but that's kind of what I got going on. Documentaries and yeah, getting cocaine blown at me at festivals.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great having you again, and we'll definitely get you back in 23 to do a full-length episode again.
Oh yeah, man. It's always a pleasure, and it was great talking to you about traveling and all that stuff. And the fact that you got turned on to phobophilic and Brendan's trip camping, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like
That's a fun time.
Stay tuned because we're going to have another guest up next. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the next segment. This is the Artists Roundtable for our end of year podcast. We have Nicholas Turner, Justin Vølus, and joining us shortly will be Ritchie Randall. We'd like to thank you for coming on the show again, and maybe just run through some of the stuff that you put out this year. I know it's been a really big year for both of you, and you've even had some projects together, so we'd love to talk about some of those. Nick, what have you worked on in 2022?
Trying to remember everything, but we covered a lot of it last time that we did this. What is coming out that we haven't covered yet? We had Sermon of Rot come out on Sewer Rot Records. Just some nasty old school death metal stuff. I did with my other guitarist from Moldering Vibration. He's really into brutal death metal, whereas I'm more into like old school death metal or avant-garde death metal. So to combine those two styles, we came up with something pretty unique. And then Jared doing drums and vocals. So that album came out really well. Obsidian Hooves just came out on Morbid Chapel Records, which we did way back probably in January 2022. And that's just some old school death metal, death doom, and incantation type worship. And then we have Slog coming out pretty soon here in maybe a week, I would say, and that's just like funeral death doom stuff. I'm really happy with the way that record came out.
And then you have a secret project that you can't give too much away on that's coming out next year as well, I know about.
Yeah, so when I went out on my vacation and visited Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana, I got together with the guys and just improvised and jammed 4 songs, and they just came out sounding incredible. So that's just some really nasty death doom with some black metal stuff thrown in there as well. And, nice. I took the files home and tightened it up, added some layers to it. And, it really did not sound improvised at all. It sounds like a good record. So that's going to be coming out on a really cool label that I haven't been able to work with yet. And, my friend Alex Shadrin from Nether Temple Design got us some really cool cover art that he painted for it. So it's going to be awesome.
Sick. How long is it? About
40 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Four giant 10-minute songs.
Nice.
And then I know that this happens kind of every year for you, but you cleaned up a bunch of the top 10 spots in the Cave Dweller Music audience voted charts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I think it's just from sheer volume of music. Just throw enough shit at a wall and some of it'll stick.
But I mean, like, a couple of those albums that you worked on ended up on a lot of interview charts. I know Acausal Intrusion specifically was on a lot of people's top 10 lists.
I mean, that one had a bit of a mixed reception because some of the guys who loved the first one, now they're saying this one's not dissonant enough. And then some guys say this one was too long, even though it was shorter than the first one. And then some of them say it's too clean now, or the production's not good. But, at the end of the day, I think we did get some real true fans from our first album, and they equally really loved the second album. So to me, it seemed like a logical step in a more refined and better direction than the first album. But,
I thought,
of course,
so
not
too.
everyone's going to agree with that.
Yeah,
I thought this one was like more polished and more focused.
That's what I thought.
I did too. And I felt like it had good, like, everything just was better about it, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought the first one, we were developing a sound. It was pretty damn chaotic. There was some issues with the mix, but that's some of what gave it a lot of charm as well. So when some people saw us kind of like develop the sound and move it forward, they didn't want that. They would rather have it be that weird, obscure sound of the first one.
Right.
I can see that.
It still had those qualities though, like obscureness and like just like literally like outer space. I don't know, like it's sick.
Right. I mean, I feel like we're always gonna have that's kind of the signature sound that's never gonna go away. But we can just keep doing it better, better songwriting, better album flow, better tone of the instruments, cooler riffs, but still keep that same atmosphere. So, that's going to be the goal.
I think this works, Did you release that on anywhere else besides Idvoid Hanger?
No. We just tend to let him, have most of the control over that because he's pressing all kinds of vinyl and CD, and
I feel
we're
like
still waiting on the vinyl for that just because stuff's so backed up, but should be coming this month.
I might have I feel like I pre-ordered it from when you first announced it, and then
right,
I was like,
it's just vinyl across the board's backed up.
Yeah,
I'm really lucky I got my Nothing Is Real one so fast. I really don't know how that happened. They just hit me up out of nowhere. They're like, yeah, there's no test press, but they're ready. I'm like, well, that's sketchy, but okay.
That's sketchy. Uh-huh.
But hey, they came in looking and sounding great. So, really happy with that one as well. What am I working on right now? Also, I'm doing a really tech death Gorguts style type thing.
Nice.
And I'm using a really low gain guitar tone, which kind of just gives it this really unique sound.
Is that with that 7-string you just got?
No, that was I hadn't gotten it yet. So so basically I listened to this weird Polish band called Goryx, and you guys really need to check it out. Gorycz. And it's just this bizarre mix of Deathspell Omega, post-hardcore, and math rock.
Okay.
Really low gain guitar tone with these huge crunchy bass and weird time signature grooves, and just insane black metal vocals over it. And it was just blew my mind that something that could sound that heavy with a guitar that had little to no distortion on it. And so I found this really I dialed in this tone that's kind of like really low gain, but reminiscent of like the later Gorgut stuff where they're using very low gain as well, but even less than that, because this album kind of inspired me to see how heavy and brutal I can make shit with little to no distortion, and it just sounds really good and clear and cutting. So I'm really excited for that album.
Awesome. And then the other album of yours that did really well in the lists was Psionic Madness, and this is kind of a good way to sort of slide Justin into the conversation. But I know you guys worked together on that, and Vargheist put that out. But that album ended up in a lot of people's end of year list, including mine.
Sweet.
I know that kind of is a project that was born out of a different band that Justin was originally in, but it's sort of taken on a whole life of its own and has developed a really solid fan base. So it's great to see that progression there.
Yep. Yeah, it was originally Morgue Walker, and then that I kind of killed that project and then changed the name. Mortality Salience was kind of, we used the template of that old sound, but then on the second album, Rotten Dominion, that we just did last year, I basically told Nick, I said, do what you want. Let's make some wacky death grind shit.
And then I know that since we last spoke, you've had some other music that you've been working on. So what's coming up for you, Nick? I mean, Justin.
I just finished up the new Maggot crown on vocals and did guitar leads on it. And Nick actually mixed that and mastered it. Nick is fucking great at doing that shit, and it sounds phenomenal. I think that will probably come out in late February, March, possibly. And then I'm working on the second Out of the Mouth of Graves album right now on vocals, and Nick did guitar leads on that, and he's mixing that as well. Me and Nick, we do Graves and Psionic Madness together, so
that actually ended up on quite a few end of year lists as well that I saw from a number of different sites and other people and groups.
Yeah. I'm definitely honored. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a banger.
Yeah, I guess I'll go over my list of things I came out with last year as a musician.
Yeah.
We did, me and Nick did Out of the Mouth of Graves, Harbinger Unceremonious. It's dissonant death metal stuff. Jared was on there on drums. It was inspired by the Dagon story from H.P. Lovecraft. And then the second thing I did was Flesh Configuration, Adapt Swarm Planet, and that was technical death metal with my buddy Blake Scott on guitar, and Jared did drums on that. That's just like some Clive Barker inspired stuff. And then I did my solo album, Vølus Thrown to the Abyss. It's blackened death metal inspired by vampiric occultism, medieval dark fantasy type shit. And then at the end of the year, October, did the Psionic Madness Rotting Dominion. So yeah.
Big year. And that's not even talking about all the label stuff, which we covered in the first roundtable.
Yeah, a lot of badass shit.
Yeah, you guys are always busy. It's insane how much you guys do.
Yeah. I added another project, but I'm capping it off at 6 projects. I'm doing this like ulcerate type shit with some guy from New Zealand.
Hell yeah.
So, and then I'm pushing the Thrown to the Abyss podcast. Just did like a hour, 40 minutes episode before this one.
That's great. Yeah, actually, for anyone who is tuning in, this hasn't actually been brought up on our podcast before, but definitely check out Justin's podcast series. A lot of great guests, some overlapping ones with us. So definitely give them a follow.
I guess let's talk to the guy that just joined in.
It's going to bring Ritchie in. Ritchie has joined. Welcome to the episode, Ritchie.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. How's your 2022 been since we last spoke?
Oh wow, it was man. 2022 was pretty wild. It was a lot of shows. I mean, that's pretty much what we did most of the time was play shows and get our new record, ready to go and sent in. And we played, I'd say like in 25 different like states, and 25 different venues. And so I wouldn't say we did it like touring necessarily, but we did these, like, I guess we call them ninja runs, where we'll go out for 3 or 4 days, come home, go out for 3 or 4 days and a few more weeks, and just try to spread the word that way. But it was a lot of shows. And we capped it off with Tennessee Devastation Metal Fest, which was in front of thousands of people, and that was amazing. So they're working on it again this year, and they are still running into the same issues they had with the whole like satanic panic kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
The community is super like conservative religious people, and so at least the powers that be are. I mean, it's in like a small town in Tennessee, and I think Lexington, I think's what the name of this town was. And for them to pull like 1,200 or more people out of a town that I don't even know if that has that many people, like they pulled from all over the place. It was really cool. Like I was so proud of them. It's Metal Devastation Radio's festival, and they've been doing it for a while. I know I feel like I'm kind of rambling here, but
no, you're good.
No, you're all good.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a question and answer thing or if it was just like, let's go to town. But
both.
Go to town.
Both.
Go to town.
Okay. Cool, man. All right. I'm like, because I could just go and go and go. But yeah, they. I'm really proud of them and how they overcame the powers that be. As far, excuse me, it really wasn't. I may be wording this a little funny, but it was more the community of people that, like the people that had the vent. Well, it was an outdoor venue, and they were fine with it, but it was more just basically the church community, and unfortunately, they tend to have some pull in politics and stuff like that, and they were trying to sway the local government into not letting them do it, and they were threatening to protest and like pull the plug, like literally pull the electricity and all this crazy stuff. And fortunately, it went off without a hitch, and there was only one protester.
Oh, dude, I gotta say something here. So
okay, go for it, man.
Me being from South Carolina, like I know exactly what you're talking about, because I played, I toured all around, but when I'd play local shows in South Carolina, we would get Christian protesters sometimes, like where especially when I used to work at Ground Zero as just a sound tech for 2 years, or my local venue, we had to escort fucking crazy motherfuckers off of property. And
they had to do that here.
And I feel like that's just like, I don't think have you ever seen anything like that before, James, on the West Coast?
No, that shit does. I mean, Nick, I'm back
I
up
never
here,
seen
but
no shit like that.
I've never seen anything like that.
I would just laugh in their face,
Right.
I don't like, that's just bizarre to spend your time doing that.
Yeah,
and I've never seen anything like that.
I think that's just natural to the Bible Belt then.
Yeah. I think that's a Bible Belt thing.
I mean, literally, you're spending your time to protest some dumb kids playing guitar loud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the funniest part was that you guys got like national publicity for free because of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, the Raven and Zach that run that thing, like they were on the news and all this crazy stuff, and it was just unreal. And I really think that did help with the attendance. I mean,
definitely
there were people.
There were like
people traveling all over to check that out. Go ahead.
They're like major sites compiling the comments from that local community as like articles, and they were absolutely hilarious. Like saying that they were gonna. It's like, why are they calling it Devastation Fest? Is it going to be a terrorist attack and stuff? And like
that was my favorite comment.
Oh shit!
That one made me laugh so hard.
That was pretty funny.
Listen to this. Listen to
Go
this.
ahead.
So when I was doing sound for Wormreich way back in the day, I think it was like 2015, something like that. This is when Wormreich had their car accident. Half their lineup died, and I literally did sound for them the night before it happened. They died that night after they played that show.
Oh,
yeah. And them being a black metal band, they put on their Facebook, Spartanburg, we're going to hell. Well, when they died and they were on national news of dying and all this crazy shit, a bunch of Christian motherfuckers went on their post where it says Spartanburg, we're going to hell. The irony of that, because they died, they're like, yeah, you are going to hell.
They probably were just all proud of that, weren't they? I'm sure, capitalizing, like basically saying that they're in the right, because they just basically paved their own way.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
That is.
Not to like carry on, but on this point, but Ritchie, the other comment that I absolutely thought was hilarious was the one about opening a gateway to hell.
The portal to hell, yeah.
Portal to hell.
That was like the joke the whole time at the fest. And what the thing was is it went off without a hitch. There was literally zero fights, zero. The only thing that law enforcement had to get involved with was the damn protester. And I guess he was in Zach and Raven's face and saying weird stuff. And he had his hands in his pocket, and they were like, they were not comfortable around that guy. And then he threatened the singer of casket robbery or something like that. And so the law enforcement stepped in and had him and escorted him away.
Oh, good. At least they were on your side.
Yeah. There was a police presence there just to make sure everything was okay. And they said they enjoyed it. It was like, this is really cool, and it actually was nice for the economy of the town. And
of course it was.
That's another thing with oh yeah, it was huge. Like they ran out of hotels and it was pretty wild.
Great. That's great.
Yeah, it was really cool. And the city right now is like, oh, we want this to happen again. This is amazing. But the pushback that they're getting from the locals that were complaining last time is just they had to put out this petition to sign, which I posted on Facebook, and it's at close to 1,000 signatures now. So hopefully that'll get pushed through and they won't have to worry about it, because this place is amazing. It's on a lake and the stage is a pretty decent sized stage, and like Johnny Cash played on this stage. And
cool.
Cool. Like I think Blue Oyster Cult played there in the 70s, and it's
cool.
a pretty it's got some history, so it's a pretty neat place.
Send us that petition and we'll push it on our end too, because I support that, obviously.
Of course. Yeah, I'll send you guys the link. I can do that.
Live venues are paramount, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
Gotta stand up for that shit.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
See, here's the thing. You can be a Christian and believe in God and still support death metal and extreme metal. Like,
oh yeah.
Because like if you're like a sane person, that like metalheads are just people. I mean, they're just people.
No, we're not.
I have
we
a lot
suck.
No, we suck. No, I have I have a fair amount of Christian, friends, and they don't care. We've played with Christian bands. I mean, it's just because there's a lot of them around where we live. It's just we're in Joplin, Missouri, and it's part of the Bible Belt too, really.
Yep.
And So it's just part of it, but they're not judgy, or it seems like more than, I hate to say this term, but newer Christians are a little more accepting than like the boomer Christians or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's like they're more, a lot of them don't even go to church per se. They just kind of do like what they call like a fellowship kind of thing on, Sunday or whatever. And they just get together and do their thing. And it's more of a personal relationship with their, God. And it's not like this organized, pushing it on people type thing.
Yeah. I've worked with you before already, Ritchie, because Gravehuffer is on Pathways to Damnation.
What
that compilation?
Yeah, that's right. Vargheist Records. Yeah. Was it Ghost Dance? I can't remember what song.
Yeah. That song was badass. So I'm already a fan of your band. So
hell yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, because man, we need to like get out your way, because we were supposed to play in Tampa this May, but we ended up having to cancel. But we may try and end up getting there in September. I'm not sure, but so yeah, we may have to come out that direction and hit you guys up.
Yeah. See, I don't play live anymore, though. That's the only issue. But I'll come out and support you guys if you guys were ever play in South Carolina.
Do you have any like good connections for venues and show or bands and stuff out there?
I mean, I could give you the contact info for the venue I used to work at.
Oh, nice.
So if you wanted to book a show there, I can make it easy for you guys.
Nice. Are you friendly with like other bands in the area?
Only the important ones.
Nice, hey man. Yeah.
I
get it, man.
You know how it is, like
I do,
like shitty local, bands that are like new metal and deathcore. I don't pay attention to that shit, but I used to hang out with the dudes in Mkhl and
they're from.
I'm friends with Lecherous. Yeah, they're all from South Carolina. So Lecherous Nocturne, which is on Willow Tip Records.
Oh yeah. We played a show with them. Like shit, it's been like 2010 or something. It was them and who else was it? They were on tour with somebody. Was it like, did they tour with Vader and Immolation?
Something like that.
And Abigail Williams or something like that. Yeah, we opened that tour. That was really cool. Yeah. Yes. Immolation in particular were super nice guys.
Immolation rule. They've never put out a bad album.
Yeah.
Man, they're so unique. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I saw them with James over the last year, and it was my first time really getting into them as well. So it was it was like an awesome deep dive. I was just like, hell yes.
Yeah.
And, that bassist and the vocalist is just fucking insane.
Ross. Ross he's dude. Those old school OG bands. It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like they get more like just creative in a way as they get older, and it's like Immolation. Like every album has its own identity, and I feel like that's kind of what we're trying to do. And this new album that we got coming out here, I got some news for you guys, I guess. Our first the first video comes out here in a couple weeks, January 20th,
awesome.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's for the first of the 3-part Dante's Inferno thing. It's for the Inferno section, and it'll be out through Black Doomba Records YouTube. And part of the reason I'm late today is because I stayed up really late last night editing another video, and with my buddy Mike, who plays bass, and we were at his house and editing a video for this song called Blueprint for an Early Grave. And it's the opener of the record. And it's basically about working yourself literally to death. And we got a bunch of footage from that movie Metropolis. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's an old German silent film by Fritz Lang.
Huh.
And it's basically about how you know, it was done in like the 20s, so it's like really old. But it's got this really cool footage of workers just basically getting marched up these stairs to this like machine that just grinds them up. It's really gnarly. So we used the like spliced in footage of that, and it fit perfectly. So it's going to come out like right before the record comes out, but the record will be out February 18th, and that's just on CD digital. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, when does the pre-order go up?
It's January 20th.
Okay, awesome.
It's going to be when pre-orders start. Vinyl is another story. Unfortunately, it is coming, and we've got everything picked out, vinyl colors, all that shit. We're gonna have three. It's gonna be 3 different variants, but I don't think it's coming out till fall because vinyl's so backed up right now. Which I heard on an earlier, you guys talking about that, and so we're gonna have to release it like separately, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd have to wait to do the album release in the late fall. I'm like, if we've been sitting on this thing for like, since June of last year, and so we're like, we're just dying to get this thing out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's so foreign to me and Nick. Once me and Nick get something, we're just like, out, put it out now, put it out.
Put it out now. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even the big labels are just
we
putting shit out and waiting for the vinyl, because at this point it's just kind of a crapshoot whenever you're gonna get it. So
it is, man. It really is.
Who knows?
And you know, it's like supposedly the big labels don't even have any more say or pull or than other people that
no, they're using the same
orders.
pressing companies we all have access to, so it's the same shit.
Exactly. So yeah, it's all just fucking like all on the same batch. Like we're using A to Z or GZ Media, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic.
Yeah, I use 8 merch out of Poland. They're the cheapest with the best quality for the price. So I know Void Hanger uses them also, and Transcending Obscurity uses them. All these overseas labels use them because they're the cheapest.
Nice. Yeah. There's a few American plants, but damn, they're expensive. They're so expensive. They're like
no point because it's the same thing but more expensive.
I know. It's like it is.
Is the shipping not like impact the price of the vinyl?
I mean, it's only $100 to $200 more bucks, and it's nothing compared to the price difference versus an American plant,
including the shipping and that. It's still
an
cheaper.
American plant's like double the price.
It is. It literally is double the price.
Same quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit, dude.
Probably
Honestly,
shittier.
Yeah, the fucking European plants are. I don't know what it is, but their stuff's just nicer.
People here just don't care half the time. They'll just leave a song off. Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah. Well, like, didn't you just mention no test pressings?
Well, yeah, they just fucked up on that one, but it came back perfect. So,
okay,
whatever.
Okay, yeah.
It just made it that much faster.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I've never done vinyl and not had to reject a pressing because of bad press, plates or whatever.
Yeah, I've never had a bad press come in, so whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's first time for everything, but hopefully not.
Right.
Not in that case. Not in that case.
I remember I bought the Church of Disgust vinyl from Maggot Stomp, and they it cut off in the middle of a song. I'm like,
oh
wow,
no, no. Fuck.
Yeah, I think it just couldn't fit on the little 7-inch.
It was 7-inch.
Yeah,
they must have just said, "Fuck it, we already pressed it." Not spending the money again,
dude. Yeah,
could have been a 10-inch.
10 inches are like sometimes more than a 12.
Really?
Yeah, the shit's not cheap, man. But I do love listening to some vinyl. I enjoy the experience. I'm the kind of guy I like to listen to an album all the way through.
Yeah.
So a vinyl helps me to just, if I have some time, which is not that often, but if I do, I like to pop one on and just lay there and enjoy the full experience.
Yeah.
See, I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way. Like, I'll be 48 years old this year. And I grew up with vinyl and my parents and shit. And
Same.
then, and so Like I'm sitting here literally staring at all my vinyl, and probably when I'm done here, that's what I'm going to do is throw on a record. I mean, when I'm at home, that's all I listen to. I mean, I've got CDs too, and occasionally I'll throw in a CD if I don't have it on record. But I put the vinyl on. I get, if it's a gatefold, I like to open it up and check it out. It's an experience, and
it is. I like listening.
I think it sounds better. I really think it sounds better.
It
I have
does.
a pretty nice turntable, and dude, I got the other day I got Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime on vinyl, and dude, it's like listening to it all over again for the first time. Like I've been used to the CD or the digital, and it's a little harsh, but the record is nice, and like you can tell it's not compressed. And I was like, dude, this album sounds so much better on record.
I just got the remastered version of Pink Floyd's Animals on vinyl the other day. And
that's so good.
It is, and I can say that like there is definitely a quality difference between like listening to a digital version and listening to that vinyl version.
It's so, dude, like I can hear it so easily. Some people can't tell the difference.
No, it's just so much more clear. You can hear like every element, every instrument. Like,
I hear.
Well, that just means there's dust on the vinyl, or
just clean the motherfucker.
System's not calibrated properly.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Or they have.
I finally got a really good, nice vinyl player, and now I have to be really mindful of keeping dust off all my vinyls because when they're clean as fuck, it's like a perfect sound.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I clean mine every time I play it. Before I play them, I always clean them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't put the fluid on them every time. I just get the dust off.
Yeah, I'm just kind of an idiot. I'm hard on everything I own. I break all my guitars, amps, so with vinyl, I'm learning to be a little more gentle.
Right. Yeah. It is, man. It's like,
I mean, the way I play, I just beat the everlasting fuck out of all my instruments.
Oh, me too. I totally get it, man. Like I always have to clean them after every show because I sweat like fucking. It's gross. And I break strings all the time, dude.
Clean shit. Yeah. I just let the guitar break and then I buy more. I don't even care.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I buy guitars because I'm like, I need a
backup. I think
backup.
I broke the pickups on one of my guitars from sweating into the pickup cavities.
Oh yeah,
and then I had to get all the pickups replaced.
They'll get all rusty and fucked up.
Something happened, like all the pickups stopped working.
Start growing mushrooms.
Start growing mushrooms. Oh, dude. Oh my god, man.
You know what?
Oh, never mind.
You know what? I've been.
Never mind.
So I've been using the same stage mic since I was 17. So that's like 11 years.
Wow.
And I've recorded every album with the same mic, so it sounds exactly the same as my live sound.
Holy shit, dude.
Sennheiser 8E35 or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, I know that mic. I know exactly which mic that is.
It's so fucking durable.
Dude, good. Right? Yeah.
Every tour, everything. Every tour, every show that I ever played was with that mic.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got a Sennheiser for not too long ago for recording my guitar tones. I'm trying to see what kind it is right here. The E906.
Yeah, the E906. Yep. We use those.
And it's just kind of a wider, diaphragm, and I put it up. It just sounds really warm and full.
And, dude, yeah.
Very easy to set up because it's a wider, diaphragm. And
lay it over your cab.
Well, I put it on a mic stand, like the same as like a SM57, but I can just slide it back and forth and find that sweet spot, and it just makes the guitar tone so much more full than a regular Shure mic or something.
Right. We used a combination on our last couple records of that mic and 257s and this Fredman mic clip. And that's,
I got a Fredman mic clip also, but
yeah,
I tend to layer guitar tracks anyways, so I kind of just do them one by one because it comes out better.
Right on. Nice. Yeah, that Sennheiser gives it that fullness, because the Fredman, like the 57s, are just almost all bite, and fuzz, kind of like a fizzy sound. and that Sennheiser really gives it more depth.
Yeah, it really captures the warmth and the lows.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And then I like doing room mics also to give it a nice, big, like realistic sound.
Right. Use like a condenser for that, or
I have a Rode freaking, what is this shit called? Rode makes some like vocal mic that's pretty famous. I just throw that in the middle of the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a couple of Rode they're phantom powered mics. I can't think of what the hell.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain's just farting right now. Oh, NT1.
I was wondering what that was.
The Rode NT1.
Okay. Yeah, we got a couple of those used for overheads on drums and shit. Man, those Rode mics are so nice. Really,
yeah. I just like
sounding.
Experimenting with different stuff and ways to achieve the sound we hear in our head.
Yeah, because it's like everybody's always talking about capturing the live sound, and it's tough, man. It's harder to do that than it is to just put mics up and play and like, oh, this is what we sound like. Oh no, it's not.
Right.
The microphones color your sound.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everything colors your sound, but for guitar, the speakers or mics color it the most.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The head, head and guitar is almost arbitrary.
They really are. Like we got a speaker cabinet deal through Arachnid Cabinets, and when we we got those over what we used to play, and it was like a huge difference in our sound. Like we like stepped up big time when we got those.
Yeah. I mean, our buddy Jared built me these 2 gigantic Mahler cabinets.
Nice.
They're fucking awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, he uses like this Baltic birch, like it's like shit they build cabinets out of or whatever.
Yeah,
and those things are so heavy, but they resonate so nice, and they really give it a lot of like warm, lower quality. And he throws Eminence in there, or you can get Celestian. You can put whatever you want in them, but he tends to go with Eminence, and that's what I did. And man, it just really made a huge difference. I'm fixing to order some more, actually. I'm going to get some coffin-shaped cabs.
That guy's stuff also, but I remember fucking one of my really nice cabs got stolen, and one of my drummers gave me a shitty ass Fender cab, and I just threw in some Celestian K100s in there, and it just sounded phenomenal after that.
Oh, nice.
And people would come up after every show. They're like, dude, how are you getting that tone, bro? I'm like, it's the speakers.
It is. It's speakers.
I was just running a solid state Ampeg SS140C straight into that cab, no pedals, and everyone's mind was blown.
It sounds so
man.
Pure.
Sometimes, right? Sometimes the classics get it done, man.
Yeah, that's why everybody loves like that. Those make that sounds timeless,
Exactly. Yeah, it really is. Like the Marshalls, the Ampegs, it's they're classics for a reason.
We're gonna have to actually do like some maybe like gear focused episodes of the podcast and get guys.
I said
guys
that today, didn't I?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, to talk more of this stuff. Because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to know how you guys get the sounds that you do. Obviously,
a lot of nerds out there.
Yeah,
we're nerds. We're such nerds.
Yeah, just do the nerd episode where we nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get all the nerds together and we can talk nerd shit.
Yeah,
we were talking about
can do like one per month. We have different people on to nerd out.
Yeah,
right.
That'd be cool, man. I'd be totally about that.
Yeah, for Vølus, I use a Sector Reaper 6-string, and I got some DiMarzio pickups in it. That's what I use for that stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. That's like, stuff. Those companies have been around a long time, and they obviously know what they're doing.
I got a question for you guys, like as far as gear goes. Sorry, is the what's your favorite strings?
I use D'Addario NYXL strings. For a 6-string, I usually use the 12 to 60, and they're the only strings I've found that last me a long time and they don't break. and they just ring out really well.
Nice.
I tune down to at least B usually, so if I'm
we lost you, Nick.
Hello. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Nick fell into the abyss.
He didn't even scream. He just said, fuck it.
Oh, can you hear us, Nick?
He's still down there.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's still
We've lost
falling. Yeah, I use SIT strings. Pretty much, we have a endorsement through them, but it stands for Stay in Tune, and they really do. I mean, it's like amazing how well they stay in tune. And I use I've got a 6, 7, and 8 string, so I wish I could remember the freaking gauges. It's like a medium light gauge, like a 56 on the bottom and a 10 on the top, I believe, for 6 string. And the 7 string is I think it's a 60 something on the bottom and a 10 on the top. And 7 strings kind of what I've been using lately, just because the new record is all 7 string stuff. And we tuned down to G sharp, which is really, it's kind of weird, but the only reason it's that way is because Gravehuffer had typically tuned down a step and a half to C sharp on everything else. And so we thought, well, if we do the 7
might as well
thing, keep the fucking
shit. I tuned a
back
drop
up.
G on a Telecaster for Slog.
Nice. That's awesome.
Just because I can.
Man. Yeah. And it's, fucking A, man. I love that G sharp. We're like G sharp on 7. We got one song I drop tuned the 7 to like F sharp, I guess. And so yeah, it's pretty cool just banging around on that kind of stuff. And yeah, the new stuff with all the 7 strings take me a little bit of time to wrap my head around, but
I just got my first 7 string in like a couple of days ago, so I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
It's a different vibe, dude. You'd think, oh, it's just one more string, but dude, it really.
Well, it's just the the notation jump string to string is different, so
it is.
I tried to drop that G to a F sharp to make it like a B standard with a high E. Because I'm used to just playing in B standard, but that even felt weird. So I just put it back to normal, and it felt more natural. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around it before I fuck with the tuning.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Just kind of get used to the string spacing, and because it is a little more closer together, and so it's kind of a different animal. Like I've got an 8 string too, and I'm like, oh my god, man, I should have waited. But I'm gonna incorporate that eventually. Maybe the next record I'll maybe try to sneak that in there. But we got to deal with solar guitars, and so I've been buying solar guitars like crazy. I've got like 5 or 6 of them now.
Yeah, the 7 string I got to Ibanez Prestige.
Oh yeah,
so it's pretty dope.
Nice. Hell yeah, man.
So I feel like it's something you gotta write a song specifically on that guitar. Rather than, I'm just going to use the 7 on this album. It's like, if you wrote it on a 6 string, it's going to be different feel and different notation.
Right. Yeah. I like I said, the new Gravehuffer was completely written on 7. So it's a way different sound. It's just a totally different vibe.
Exactly. That's why I feel like I just have to wait for an album where I'm going to write it exclusively on there to use it.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that when I first started writing with it, dude, I was writing stuff I would never write on a 6. And
the first time I picked it up, I just wrote some crazy ass, tech death riff stuff and bringing out a lot of cool shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The first riffs I started writing were sound like Morbid Angel type shit, and so I mean, they're a huge influence of mine, and I I wasn't even trying to like, oh, I'm going to write a Morbid Angel riff. It just kind of came out that way, and you know, and so it's badass, man. Like the Inferno track, like is so it makes me think Morbid Angel every time we play it. I'm like, oh, dude, it really takes me back to the '90s.
It's awesome.
Just,
man.
For the sake of time on the episode, we're going to have to quickly click over to the last topic, but we'll definitely get you guys back on for another one of these.
Sure.
Chats. Yeah. So basically, we just want to know, because this is kind of an end of year wrap up episode, what albums did you guys enjoy in 2022? Like, what were some highlights for you guys? We could start with Nick, then Justin, then Ritchie, if you want.
Sure.
So, I mean, when I'm actively working on shit, like really hard on lots of albums, I don't get to listen to much. But now that I'm through the end of the year, I told you this band called Goryx, Gorycz, this Polish band. It's just the weirdest fucking shit I've heard in a long time, and it blew my fucking mind. So I've been bumping that constantly. It's been a big inspiration. Other than that, I mean, I just discover all kinds of random shit that's not from this year. I mean, I just found out about this old death metal band called Yattering.
Yes.
That blew my mind.
Great band.
I couldn't believe I'd never heard it till now. And other than that, I mean, I hear random shit I like, but it just doesn't really care what year it's from. I just if I like it, I like it.
That's fun.
Totally, man.
Well, my number one is that Entropophagus Origin album from Agonia Records. It just sounds like Morbid Angel if they played brutal death metal. Fucking love Morbid Angel. So when Ritchie was talking, yes, sir. And then say like my second would be this French black metal band. They're called Morer. Put out an album called Disgrace on Throat Ruiner Records. Fucking phenomenal. It's just like
I bought that shit on. Yeah, I bought that shit. I don't know if it's CD or vinyl, but it was too good.
Yeah, dissonant black metal stuff, really good. I think the bass and the drums on that album are fucking awesome. And then third album is Artificial Brains, self-titled. I fucking love that album. I love that band in general. Great band. So that's my top three.
I need to come back to that album because I checked it out and it didn't do as much for me as the previous albums, but I think I need to give it another chance.
James, I listened to it and I did not like it, and then I came back to it and I liked it a lot.
Okay, so it's worth coming back to.
I think you just have to be in a certain mindset to get into it.
Okay.
Because when I first heard it, I'm like, this is like stoner metal, death metal.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not heavy. It sucks. Oh, I don't like it, and I turn it off. And then I listen again, and I'm like, kind of was able to get into the spacey headspace that they're going for, and really pick up on all the cool grooves and riffs they're doing.
Okay, because you and I both talked about it when it came out, and both of us agreed on the same stuff. So I'll need to check it out again. But
I tried it again a few months later, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, good to know. Because the same thing happened to me with the new Acid Witch. Because at first I felt like I agreed with you on that as well. Like they suffocated the mix with the vocals. It was like just too much vocals. But I came around. I listened to it again. Acid Witch.
Acid Witch. I love that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to listen to that again. I'm just kind of.
I ended up liking it more on a second listen than I did on the first. But I agree with you that they definitely drown out the mix with the vocals too much.
It sounded like some freaking rap hip hop crap with the rhythmic vocals. I just turned it off.
That's only really like that one song too, like the very opening there you're talking about.
I don't know, man. For me, shitty vocals ruin it all, and I turn it off. I'm done.
Yeah, I hear that. Sometimes I'm like,
oh yeah, man. I'm that way too. If the vocals are bad, I can't get around it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to shit, the coolest intro ever, great riffs and then shitty vocals, and now you just click off instantly.
We talked about that with that Psychonaut shit, that progressive.
Yeah, I mean, I
metal
said
stuff.
that to you as an example of
Yeah.
like some can't. I'm done.
Can't get past
I
it.
can't do it. Just don't have vocals. Because
I agree.
You know,
be instrumental. If you have shitty vocals, just be instrumental. There's a ton of great instrumental music.
Or find a new
ruins it all
vocalist.
for me.
And sorry, maybe be a backing vocalist and change your style, or like. But like, is it like easy to tell somebody that? Like, I don't know.
There was this band.
A lot of singers won't listen to you.
Yeah, that's it.
There was this band that submitted their stuff for us to review, and it was like,
all right, guys. Sorry, I got to get out of here.
No worries. That's all good. Thanks for coming on.
Have a good day, everyone.
See you,
Nick, man.
All
See you next time.
Take it easy. Good meeting you.
Reptile Expo.
Nice.
So, I got to get out of here.
Enjoy.
Oh, right on.
All right.
Have fun, man.
This band submitted stuff to us to review, and instrumentals amazing, like seriously good. Harsh vocals really friggin' good, and then halfway through the song, these like really shitty, whiny, clean vocals kick in. Man, like I was gonna like review this, like I actually really like this, and you ruined it.
Damn it.
I just like sometimes like clean vocals on mixed with harsh vocals are really hard to pull off. Like I'll say that.
Man.
Like, there's very few bands that do it right. Opeth was one of them.
Right.
Like you have to be really good, basically, as a clean vocalist to mix the two.
Otherwise, it's just like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, it's like they're trying too hard or something. You know, it's like they do. It's like it's beyond their ability or something.
Right.
You know,
like the other band that pulled it off was, for me, in my opinion, like Dimmu Borgir managed to make it work because they had those kind of like operatic, clean vocals that like fit the vibe of the music. You know,
right?
Like,
I saw them live, man. Woo, he could sing.
He can, yeah. I've seen him live too. The guy can really do it.
I was like, holy shit.
Woodsy Ypres was the other one. I mean, that guy before he died, obviously, but he could really mix the clean and the harsh vocals.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I like old Opeth a lot.
So,
yep.
And Ritchie, not to derail the conversation, but what did you like this year?
Shit, man. It's like I feel like like I'm doing all mainstream shit, but King's X brought out a new record that I just absolutely love.
Nice.
And 3 Sides of One, I think it's called. And God, it's been a long time since they've released something. And I know it's not metal or whatever, but I'm a huge fan of that band. The new Imperial Triumphant was really good. Let's see what else. I always get like brain farts on this stuff. What came out this year? I can't remember. I think Voivod's album.
I think they did.
Did it come out in 22?
Let me double check that. I think it
Synchro
did.
Anarchy.
It was like the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
maybe
I think it was. Maybe. It was either early. Yeah, it was. It was this year.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
February.
Okay. Love that, man. I mean, I don't think it's quite as good as the album before, The Wake, but it was really, really good. You know, Dan's a really nice guy. He was cool enough to play on a song of ours. And so I've always been a huge Voivod fan anyway. And then when he agreed to help us out, that was amazing. Soilwork released a new record that I really like. And that was kind of sad that David Anderson passed away.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, damn, that one affected me more than I thought it would. I was like, you know, I've been a fan of that band since like 2000 or so. And since they were, I think they only have like 1 or 2 records out. And I think Devin Townsend produced a record. And so that's probably why I got into it. But I'm a huge Devin fan. But gosh, I'm drawing a blank. And there's a lot of stuff that I hear, maybe that I don't necessarily buy on vinyl or whatever, but I listen to a lot of online radio, like when I'm at work and stuff, and I'll just hear all this stuff that's just I'm like, whoa, that is wild. There's a band called Moths. I don't know if they're Spanish or something like that, but man, they're amazing. They're like this weird, like proggy with female vocals, and then they have like this weird death metal things, and it's like if Imperial Triumphant, like if they did mushrooms or something, and like turned down the gain on their amps and like played slower. It's real strange, but I really like that. Yeah, yeah, man. I almost feel like I'm inundated with just so much music that it makes it hard for me to like focus on a few different things.
Definitely. I'm still finding stuff from a couple years ago that I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is sweet. When does it come out?
Dude. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, that came out like when, and stuff just flies by and stuff catches your ear and you're like, oh shit, that's cool.
That never stops, especially with like
it doesn't.
The last 3 years of like COVID, the amount of music that was put out, I'm like every other day, I'm like, holy shit, how many albums came out in like 2020 to 22? Like insane amount of music.
Well, I feel like that's all people were able to do was create, and so and now everybody's playing shows. There's like I've missed so many cool shows because there's just so many going on right
There's too many.
Yeah. It's almost saturated. And the thing that's weird is like when we played shows last year, like the turnouts were crazy. They were so good. And we were kind of afraid at first, like, man, nobody's going to come. People were going to be scared. And no, man, we had some of the best attendances we've ever had last year.
Yeah. I mean, I try to go to like Brandon's the same. Like I try to go to at least like minimum 1 to 2 shows a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I try. Yeah. If I can't, like at the show, especially like I try and buy stuff too. Like,
right.
Just
I feel like there's a lot of good people out there that they go just to support, Yeah. And like our merch.
Like I'll toss around our stickers, like try and line up some interviews and stuff like that. Just like and a lot of people are like, hell yeah, let's do that, and then exchange numbers and emails and things and whatnot. It's like it's cool. It works.
It really, hell yeah, it works. Like we get that all the time too. Like we'll get people that stop by the merch booth and talk shit, and they'll have a lot of times they will have a sticker or a flyer or whatever. And I love that shit. So our merch booth will be full of just stickers from all over the place, and from different people and different bands and podcasts and all kinds of stuff. And I love that shit. Yeah, dude, it's so awesome. Like the old school way of handing out physical pieces of items or whatever is still one of the, if not the best way to, word of mouth, spreading the word, man.
I always try to have like at least a pocket full of stickers every show I go to and try and give out at least half of them.
Well, yeah, and then face-to-face conversation. I think a lot of people kind of miss that.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, for the sake of time, we had better wrap up the episode. But
right on.
Thank you so much to everyone who came on. Nick's not here, obviously, but thank you to Nick, Justin, Ritchie. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who's listening and everyone who follows CDM for a great 2022. And we'll have a big 2023. We've got a ton of great guests already lined up in January and February for you. So see you next time.
Thanks for having me.